Hi, thank you for joining us on this episode of Sports Bets for Free. My name is Scott Jenkins, your host, just a local sports bettor here in Phoenix, Arizona, and hopefully today with our picks and your picks, it's going to be another profitable day for you. Friday, February 9th, basketball slate. We've got a couple college basketball games and then the NBA slate to get into. Monster day in basketball for us yesterday, almost 400 units up. So we did have some losses, but man, we crushed a lot of things on that one. So good day for us there. We hope that we'll keep that streak going and keep that streak alive. We'll start off with college basketball. Two games, like I mentioned, we're getting into Dayton at VCU. Kind of a weird spot for Dayton. They did play earlier this week already and then come back on a Friday. Normally they don't come back on a Saturday. So a situational spot here, we believe, for us. So we do like VCU at home, not playing that earlier game like Dayton already did this week. So we'll take VCU money line first half and then money line for the game, even though a slight dog. VCU money line first half, money line for the game. I think Dayton is the better team here. That's not the question. I think situational spot, though, is kind of coming back for a Friday night game rather than playing a Saturday game was kind of unusual on that one. Just enough to throw it off. So take the home team, especially being such a slight dog to begin with, and taking on the money line to convert the juice a little bit out of the equation as well. So VCU money line first half and for the game. Next game up, Nevada at home against San Diego State. San Diego State's bumped it back into the top 25. Nevada's played really well as well, especially at home. So unranked team versus ranked team laying points at home. Take the unranked team. Bet still applies this logic. Does it cash every time? No. Does it cash at a big-time rate? Yes. So we will take Nevada here. We do like Nevada minus a half first half and minus 2.5 for the game. One more time, Nevada minus a half first half, minus 2.5 for the game. And then we'll get into the NBA slate. Hawks at the 76ers, first game up. Hawks have covered 3 out of the last 4. So getting maybe a little bit better. Not a lot of they didn't have a lot of players switch at the deadline. So a lot of continuity coming in. The 76ers are just all over the place, and this shows in the line. I mean, when would you ever see the Hawks favored at the 76ers? If Embiid's playing, I think this is a 10-point difference, where the 76ers are probably favored by 7.5. Tobias Harris has proven not to be anything but maybe an average third, if not fourth option for your offense. Tyrese Maxey, he can't do it all himself. I mean, he's a younger player in the league. I think he's a great Robin to a Batman, which can make him a superstar. But, just a little more time needed probably there. They look discombobulated. I'm surprised that this line isn't any bigger. I'll be really honest with you. So Hawks -1 first quarter, minus a half third quarter, minus 1.5 first half, minus 2.5 for the game. We do like some Trae Young tonight. He has been hot. Trae Young over 25.5 points. Over 2.5 threes. Well, also, I couldn't believe the number was 2.5, as hot as he's been shooting the 3 lately. So we'll also take him at 4+ threes and 5+ threes as well. Tobias Harris under 23.5 points and under 35.5 par. Okonwu, I apologize. I'm pronouncing his name wrong. I'm sure of it. Over 12.5 points, over 8.5 rebounds. We'll also take a sprinkle on 12+ rebounds, as it's been Clank City for the 76ers since Embiid's been out, so should be a lot of rebound opportunities there. We also like Trae Young over his 39.5 par as well. So one more time in this Hawks 76ers game, Hawks -1 the first quarter, minus a half third quarter, minus 1.5 first half, minus 2.5 for the game. Trae Young over 25.5 points, over 2.5 threes. Then we've got 4+ threes, 5+ threes. We'll also take over 39.5 par. Tobias Harris under 23.5 points and under 35.5 par. And then we've got Okonwu over 12.5 points, over 8.5 rebounds. We'll also sprinkle a little bit on 12+ rebounds. It was plus 300 plus on DraftKings on that one as well. So in that Hawks 76ers game. Next game up, Wizards Celtics. Lines anywhere from 16.5 to 17. The books are kind of weird on the lines right now, so not a lot of stuff out on the Celtics. Tatum lines were out, even though he's the only one on the injury report. So a little confusing on that retrospect, but we do like the Celtics today, and we're going to have to come back to player props, so do make sure you check out the Google Sheets at the end of the episode. But Celtics -5.5 first quarter, -10 first half, -16.5 for the game. One more time, Celtics -5.5 first quarter, -10 first half, -16.5 for the game. Like I said, player props we're going to have to come back to on that one, as they were not really available. Not the ones we were looking for, like Porzingis and stuff like that. So next game up, Rockets, Raptors. Rockets, that line's been right around 1.5 to 2. So depending on where, on that one, the Raptors traded away even more pieces of the team. I'm surprised they didn't trade like Bruce Brown. That was kind of a shocker to me. They couldn't figure out how to get an asset out of Bruce Brown. I think the Lakers really wanted Bruce Brown, but weren't willing to give up a first, down the road first for him. So that could have been the difference of keeping him. Bruce Brown's also got another year. He might be worth more in the offseason, as he's got another year on his contract. And it's pretty inexpensive. I believe it's $11-12 million on that one, so might be worth it in that retrospect. But we do like the Rockets here today. Jalen Green looks like is going to be a point again, as Van Vliet's going to be out. He looked fantastic in his last game. He has had one bump in the road probably over the last 5 or 6, but he's been fantastic to watch. So we'll roll with the Jalen on that one, and we'll roll with the Rockets. So Rockets +0.5 first quarter, +0.5 third quarter, +0.5 first half, +2 for the game. Jalen Green over 20.5 points. We'll also sprinkle a little bit on 25+ points, over 1.5 threes. And then we'll also take Jalen at 3+ threes, which was +220 on FanDuel. Jalen Green over 29.5 par. Sengun on over 0.5 block. Scotty Barnes over 2.5 turnovers. So one more time in this Rockets-Raptors matchup. Rockets +0.5 first quarter, third quarter, first half, +2 for the game. Jalen Green over 20.5 points. Also 25+ points. Jalen Green over 1.5 threes. Also 3+ threes. Jalen Green over 29.5 par. Sengun over 0.5 block. And Scotty Barnes for the Raptors over 2.5 turnovers. Next game up is going to be Hornets, Bucks. Bucks 14.5 point favorite, depending on where you're looking. Total around 230. And this one here, Bucks get beat yesterday by the T-Wolves. Nothing to be embarrassed about in that situation. The T-Wolves are one of the best teams in the league. They really got held down defensively, which is what the T-Wolves do. They frustrate you. Don't let the offense come easy. The Hornets are the complete opposite of that. They let the offense, they play Olay defense as they watch you walk by. Miles Bridges. Here was the key to the trade deadline, folks. Miles Bridges, this is what selfish players do. Instead of trying to get traded to contender, which I know the Suns were extremely interested in making something happen there, he uses his trade veto because he knows he's going to be a free agent at the end of the year. So with the Hornets and the way their situation is, he's going to have plenty of opportunities to put up monster points and get that big contract. Losing players stay on losing teams to make their stuff look better. This reminds me of Eduardo Rodriguez with the Tigers last year, who wanted not to get traded to the Dodgers because he wanted to continue to be a frontline starter and get a contract, which he did in the offseason. The Diamondbacks obliged in that one to secure the bag on that one. I have no problem with these guys wanting to make money, but you don't want to get traded to a team that you're the third option on or fourth option on or come off the bench because you really need to put up glamour stats that mean nothing on a team that's going to win 20 games. Anyway, enough of the rant on that one, I guess. But Bucks, we normally would play against this number. Here's the deal right now with the Grizzlies, the Hornets, and the Wizards. I don't think you can make the line high enough. Because if you went out there and made this line like +24, of course everybody's going to go bet the Hornets till it's back down, right? So you've got to keep the number 14 to 17 range, and somewhere in that one, and then feel where the resistance comes back in. 14 is a bunch, on this one, no doubt about it. But we do like the Bucks here. We think a bounce back game after, they find out what great defenses against no defense. So Bucks minus 4.5 first quarter, minus 8.5 first half, minus 14 for the game. It's amazing to me. Giannis had a higher point total against the best defense in the league than he did against one of the worst. 33.5 points. So we're going to go over that as we went under 34 yesterday. Miles Bridges, though, under 26.5 points. Brandon Miller under 4.5 threes. I know he's been knocking in threes lately, but really we think he's 5 threes a game for a rookie? That's a forward? Okay. Giannis over 11.5 blocks, rebounds, and Giannis to get 1 block plus. Miles Bridges over 2.5 turnovers. So one more time in this Bucks-Hornets game. Bucks minus 4.5 first quarter, minus 8.5 first half, minus 14 for the game. Giannis over 33.5 points, over 11.5 rebounds, and also to get a block. Miles Bridges under 26.5 points, over 2.5 turnovers. Brandon Miller under 4.5 three-pointers made. We'll get into the next game. We're going to have, Nuggets at the Kings. Rule would tell me to bet the Kings here. They're coming off a rest. They're at home. Nuggets played last night in Denver, or in LA. Game was tight. I mean, but I just, the Kings right now, it's hard to play this. They have not shown me. I mean, they went on that long road trip. They played pretty well. And then, of course, first game back home off a long road trip is normally a dud. So, I mean, with lean Kings here, we're going to stay away for the moment, but make sure you do check out the Google Sheet as we might come back and play the Kings here. But we do like some props of De'Aaron Fox over 24.5 points, over 2.5 threes, and over 31.5 par. I think coming off the shooting night he had at home the last time, that was definitely uncharacteristic of him. And then Jokic over 3.5 turnovers. So one more time, Kings Nuggets. Fox over 24.5 points, over 2.5 threes, over 31.5 par, and Jokic over 3.5 turnovers. Then we'll get into the last game. We got the Pelicans, Lakers. Pelicans, I think 4 in a row winner. Lakers obviously lose last night, so coming off a back-to-back. Pelicans 2.5 point favorite. If this was the Clippers, I think and the Clippers were coming off a back-to-back and a loss. I don't know if the Lakers are getting some name recognition here. I just think a team with their record, they should probably be around 5. So a little bit of value here at 2.5, I believe, as well. So we are going to roll with the Pelicans. We got value here, and we just got the hotter team overall. So Pelicans minus 0.5 first quarter, minus 1 first half, minus 2.5 for the game. And we got a lot of CJ McCollum, so get your pen and pencil out for this one, right? So McCollum over 21.5 points, over 3.5 threes. We're also going to bet him 5, 6, and 7 threes for this game. Obviously, sprinkling a little bit as the juice gets higher. And then CJ McCollum over 30.5 par. So one more time, Pelicans, Lakers. Pelicans minus 0.5 first quarter, minus 1 first half, minus 2.5 for the game. McCollum over 21.5 points. And then 4 threes, 5 threes, 6 threes, 7 threes. And then McCollum over 30.5 par. So I mentioned this a couple times throughout the show. Make sure at the end of the show, in the comment section, you're going to see a link to our Google Sheets. It's docs.google.spreadsheet. That's going to give you a ledger of all of our bets, what juice we got those at, how many units we have wagered on those, and what book we did place those at. So do make sure you check that out. It's hard to keep. We're a volume better show, so the ledger is definitely going to help quite a bit to see all the plays that we've got. It can be a ton. So, obviously match them up with the ones that you've already liked. And that should give you that ton of confidence you need heading to the betting app or betting window to make some money. That's what that's there for. And then also make sure you subscribe and get notifications to our YouTube channel. Makes life really simple once you hit that subscribe button, turn notifications on for YouTube. Every time we drop an episode of new bets, you'll get notification to your phone or device to let you know Sports Bets for Free has dropped a new show worth of bets. And that'll give you plenty of time, like I said, to match them up with your bets, give you that ton of confidence you need heading to the betting app or betting window. I do appreciate everybody's support as always, and look forward to seeing you on the next episode.